are back again. I know this is the second video that I'm uploading today, but as you guys can tell from the title, I wanted to do my monthly favorites outside of just doing my monthly wrap-up. I wanted to talk to you guys about the things that I'm absolutely loving this month, things that have really helped me along in the month, things that I've gotten genuine enjoyment out of. I've been trying to live a little bit more of a minimalistic life where if I don't think something's going to bring me joy in the long term, I'm not buying it. And so these things that I wanted to talk about are a lot of different things. There's like shows, there's some like home items that I have. I'm actually also going to be talking about my favorite booktuber that I have been binge watching this month. I want to make that a regular thing in my monthly favorites, is a favorite YouTuber that I have been absolutely in love with, and I want to kind of stick to the booktube community. But I'm going to go ahead and get started because I'm really, really excited to talk about the things that I found this month. And a lot of these you guys have actually been asking me questions about, so I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about them. So the first thing that I want to cover this month is actually my favorite booktuber, and that would be Kathleen at Worth 1,000 Words. I am genuinely so in love with Kathleen's videos. I love how candid and honestly like adorable she is. Like when you watch me, I wouldn't say I'm adorable, you know what I mean? Like I'm kind of abrasive in a way, but Kathleen is so like, when you watch her videos, it's so welcoming and they're done so well, and she doesn't like hold back, and she's very honest, she's very candid. I just genuinely love her videos. Also, she's so eloquent. She is so well-spoken, and she is a journalist major, I believe, and I'm really excited for her videos when she uploads them. I just like have been binge watching her all month, and I've been speaking about her as much as I can because she's close to 500 subscribers, and I think that she deserves so much more than that. You can just tell by the time and effort she puts into her videos and the thoughts that she puts into her videos, and you know, like she thinks like, should I upload this video? Like, are people going to genuinely like that? And I think that she just cares a lot, and I can really feel that through the computer screen, and if I could give her a hug, I would. I just genuinely love her videos so much. So if you guys don't follow her, you should go follow her. I love her content, and I love her as a person. And the next couple of things I'm going to be talking about are actually shows that I'm currently watching. The first one I've been watching nonstop again is actually Cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson. I am such a fan of this show. I have always been a fan of this show. I have seen this show maybe like 10 times through and through. I used to fall asleep to it. I love this show. If you guys like space stuff, if by chance you haven't heard of this, you should definitely watch it. It's kind of science fact, you know, like little factoids, and he kind of talks about how the world was developed, and you know, like how dogs went from wolves to actual like pets. There's just a bunch of things that he covers in this show, and it makes you feel so small. It is one of those shows where if I'm really, really struggling and I feel like everything is falling apart, when I watch this show, it makes me feel so small and insignificant in a way that at the same time, it makes my problems feel so insignificant, and then it makes you feel so important. So your problems are smaller and you feel more important, and I feel like that really helps me to feel like no matter how bad things may get or how frustrating or stressful, it always gets better because you are just a little speck on a little speck in the universe. And I just genuinely love this show so much. Now, the next thing that I actually watched was a documentary. This documentary touched me in a way that I cannot explain. Only watch this documentary if you want to be literally afraid of everything that you've ever eaten. It would be What the Health. This is a Netflix documentary, and it has touched me in so many ways. This documentary actually goes over food, the food we eat, how it affects our bodies, as well as like the FDA and all of these companies that kind of fund like Susan B. Komen cancer centers, the Food and Drug Administration, like who pays who to talk about what. And I think that it is kind of scary. I mean, obviously as people we kind of pick and decide what we want to believe, but I really believe these kinds of things. When I lived in California, I started noticing a difference in kind of the food that I had access to and how it was making me feel, and I've kind of actually tried to, over the last month, go back to being a vegan. It's been a long journey. It's going to be a long journey. It's going to be something that's very, very hard for me, but I am trying to do it, and it's because of this show, this documentary that I watched. If you guys are interested in health at all, if you guys are interested in kind of like different thinking, like if you just want to know, if you're like me, I like to have as much information as possible about anything. I just love learning different things, and this documentary really sparked something in me, and I think you guys would be really interested in it if you're like me and you want just to know what's going on. You just want a little bit more information. You can kind of gain your own opinion from it, but I couldn't not include this because it really affected my life. I've actually watched it 2 or 3 times since I watched it the first time, and I'm about to force my husband to watch it because I feel like he could take some pointers, but I just loved this, and you guys should watch it because I need to talk to people about it because I have thoughts and I had opinions. Now the next show I'm going to talk about is actually hands down become my favorite show of all time, my most anticipated second season show of all time. The second season starts filming in June. I needed it like a week ago. I am so obsessed with the show, and it would be Dark. This is a Netflix original. It is a German show, so everybody speaks German in it. You're going to want to watch it with German audio and English subtitles, because if you try to watch it in English audio, you're going to get about 20 minutes into it and just turn it off. This show is so interesting. It is dark. There is sex. There is violence. There is drugs. It is based around these kids who are in high school. One of them actually goes away because his father kills himself, and his father leaves a note that says, "Don't open until this specific date." And you start to see a bunch, like all these kids start going missing, and you start to see these little threads pulled through the show, and you start to realize like there's a little bit of time travel going on. There's a little bit of like crazy like preacher stuff going on, and it's so dark. It's a perfect word for this series. It is so, so cool. I binged the entire series with my husband in about 2 days. I am obsessed with it. I like that there are flashbacks for all the characters, because while there are these main group of kids that are represented in the first part of it, there's obviously there are parents, there are adults that are surrounding them, and then later on in the series they start to talk about more of what shaped their parents, what shaped the adults. There's a lot of flashback stuff. It is just so cool and so hard to explain. There was a lot of times where me and my husband had to pause the show and kind of talk about what was happening to figure out what was going on. It's definitely one of those shows that makes you go, what the hell, like over and over and over again, and it's hard to figure out kind of what's happening. I love shows like that. I have to say, definitely my favorite show of all time. I actually am forcing my friend Carlos to watch it. I actually added him to our Netflix account and then added Dark onto his little account and was like, you have to watch this. I expect a full report at 8 a.m. on what you thought of this series. I just need everybody to know. It is such a good series. If you like dark stuff, if you like twisted stuff, if you don't mind sex, drugs, violence, it's definitely TVMA. I think that you'd really, really love the show. Please watch it. Please. Please watch it so I can have somebody to talk to about it. Now, I'm going to be getting into the things that lifestyle-wise I have found this month that I am genuinely enjoying. The first couple of things I'm actually going to be talking about are these notebooks. I have kind of defaced a few of them. I actually got these from Forever 21 on a sale. I think for the 3 of these it was like $5. I really love having these though. They're thinner than the ones that I normally use, but I have kind of sectioned them off in different tasks. Like, okay, for example, this one is my book journal. So as I am reading a book, I will make notes. I will keep what I liked about a book, what I disliked about a book, specific quotes that I liked from books in it. I think that this is so helpful to have. I do have another like book journal that I keep with me, but it's not as small or compact, and I think this one really, really helps. The next one I have here is actually lists. So what I will keep in here are to-do lists, things that I need to get done, things that I need to purchase. Like the first list that I have in here is actually a grocery list. The next one I have are bills, videos to film, that kind of thing. I genuinely love having a journal that is just for lists. You will be blown away. Even if you have it on your phone, like a list in your like notes on your phone, it's so helpful to remember like, oh, I need to remember to do this thing. And I love notebooks like this. I think they're so, so helpful. And the last one I have here is actually a tracker notebook. So what I've actually started doing is tracking my income, because I'm on a no spend other than like pre-order books and bills. And then I have allowed myself 1 coffee a week, which is on Mondays usually when I film. But in here as well, I'm actually keeping a food log. I think that it's very important to track like how you're feeling, you know, like money, how you're feeling, things like that. I think that it's important to keep track of those things because as somebody who suffers from anxiety, it's nice to look back on the week when I've tracked it and kind of seen if there's any correlation between something that actually makes me feel like crap, and having this little notebook definitely helps that. And then I also got another notebook from Forever 21. It just says positive vibes, and it has the little like aerosol can on it. This is not the coolest notebook I've ever seen, but I actually decided to buy this because I wanted to use this as my bujo, however you say it, like those like notebooks that people do at the beginning of the month. And I'm actually going to have a video coming later, I think next week, for a June plan with me. I've actually been getting a lot of questions on how I'm able to manage a full-time job as a manager, as well as YouTube, as well as Instagram. And, you know, I kind of did an office tour of how I organize, but people wanted more in-depth. But just as a sneak peek, I did actually make a bujo with this journal, and I really genuinely love it. So I'll be going over all of that in the coming weeks. And the next thing I have here is actually an art print. I have been debating on whether or not to frame this or if it's something that I just want to keep set where I have it right now. But this is what it looks like. This is done by Four Fires on Etsy. Sam, that bookish gamer, actually turned me on to this artist. I think that her art is stunning. It does have like a bit of a sexual under theme. That is something that doesn't bug me when it comes to art, but it also has more of like an empowerment vibe to it. If you guys are interested, I will list her Etsy shop down below. I just genuinely love this art print. It is so beautiful. It is so well made. It is so stunning. And I just like, I love the female body in this, and I love the bird. This is a whole series. I'm thinking about picking up the other two, but this is the one that I was drawn to the most. And the next thing that I want to talk about is actually a notepad that sits on my desk. You guys probably won't be able to see from here, but it says things I might do, and it has a sloth. Once again, I got this from Forever 21 on sale. I was trying to buy a bunch of stationery and I didn't realize Forever 21 had some, so I actually picked up a bunch of it. But I love this. I love sloths. I love how tiny and compact this is. I used to have a big one that sat on my desk, but since I don't know if you guys noticed, I downgraded to a smaller desk to save space, and it barely fits my computer and a couple of plants. So it's quite small. So I wanted a smaller checklist, like a to-do list, and it just says things I might do, and it has a sleeping sloth. And if that's not me, I don't know what is, but I find it very handy. I also like that when you peel the pages off, it's actually a sticky note on the other side, so you can stick your to-do list somewhere if you need to, or you can like pin it to your fridge, whatever you need. I just absolutely love this. And the last thing I'm going to be talking about is actually something that I've been getting a lot of questions from a bunch of people, because I believe there are water bottles similar to this that are all over the internet right now. And when I actually posted this water bottle, people were asking me where I got it from. So if you live in the United States, you can actually find this at Marshall's. I think I paid $15 for this. I also got my mom a matching one for her birthday, but they are these water bottles that have crystals in them. And I think the one that I got was amethyst, although looking at it, it looks more like a smoky quartz. So maybe they mixed up the containers. I don't know. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm really into crystals. I'm really into metaphysical stuff. I think that that is something that's always going to be a part of my life. And I am one of those people who charges their crystals in the moonlight. I am one of those people who wears them all the time for protection, and like citrine is my favorite. And I just love this water bottle because I also know the benefits of having crystals in your water. And we actually considered getting all crystal glasses, but those are very expensive. So when my husband saw this, I flipped out. I was like, I have to have that. It is so cool. And like I said, I know there's other ones floating around on the internet, so you can definitely find them if you are diligent with it. I can't remember the name of the company, but I know there's like a lot of ads floating around Instagram right now, but they're like $80, $90. This was $15, like I said, and I believe that website has a bigger selection, but I think this one does just fine. The reason why I like this water bottle so much is it is glass, so I don't necessarily take it out with me because I'm a very klutzy person, and where I work, which is the only other place that I would have this, is concrete floors, metal countertops. So if I ever drop this, it would just shatter everywhere. I do have like a big, what's it called? Hydro flask that I carry around, a 40-ounce hydro flask. That's what I bring with me to work. But the reason why I like this one so much is because it is a nice size. It's not super big. I don't know if you guys can tell, like this is my hand, this is my head. It's not super big, but also the bottom of it, when you need to clean it, this comes off and you can kind of remove the ring from the inside to clean it, as well as this bottom portion unscrews, and then the gem itself, the top of it, actually unscrews from that. So you can clean it as thoroughly as you need to. I'm definitely somebody with my OCD where I'm afraid of like germ contamination. I'm afraid of like getting sick. So it definitely helps for me to be able to clean this as much as I possibly can. And I love this water bottle. It's such a good size, and it's very like, it's very hefty in a way, and it feels nice, as well as it has like a tab that you can kind of like carry it around if you need to. I'm just such a fan. If you guys are interested, like I said, you can find similar ones on, I believe like, I'm sure you can find them on Amazon. There's another source that you can get this from. If you are in the US though, I would try Marshall's, and I know Marshall's now does online shopping. So if you're interested at all, you can probably try online with this as well. Alright guys, so that is it for my monthly favorites that were not books. Just things that I wanted to talk to you guys about, things that I need to gush about. I hope you guys like this type of video. If you do, give it a thumbs up and let me know down below if you guys want me to keep doing this type of video. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys will think about subscribing. But I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!